to try to see if I can give myself a little bit more light. But yeah, it's whenever I see the like cover image for the clips, I'm always like, oh, because I know we don't look like that. I'm like, is this? It's just this real. Like, do I live in a weird reality where I think I look a certain way, but then I actually look a different way? I don't think that's what's happening, but
you know what it is? They use some kind of AI smoothing feature to that really makes your face look two-dimensional.
yeah,
It's almost cartoonish, and that's why we never use any of the generated images that they suggest, because it looks, you know what it looks like? Have you, I'm sure you have watched Indian news, like cable news. It
yeah,
kind of looks a little bit like where they have so
yeah.
many chyrons and so much going on the screen, and there's just like all this stuff layered on top of the people. It kind of reminds me of that.
I could see that. I mean, not to humble brag, but both of us have like we kind of have baby faces in some respects for like, and so like with whatever the smoothing thing is, it makes us look like there used to be the Snapchat filter, like the baby filter, where like you as a child. It's not that extreme, but it almost looks like we're like clay versions of ourselves, and much like I don't know. It almost I'm like I want to look a little gritty. I don't want to look, yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually, I just saw a headline, an article that a woman I know wrote, actually the same woman, Emma Rosenblum, who wrote that article about the hot mom
mm-hmm.
syndrome. And this is related in the sense that it's the headline, and I haven't read the story, was none of the women in my life have wrinkles anymore. What if we just all agreed to stop doing Botox, and just like no one looks real?
Mm-hmm.
And this is a topic that we've talked about before, and it just continually comes up, especially for, we're in our 40s, like this. Yeah, this is a
Right.
time where it's interesting, because you do start to see, you even if you can't quite tell, that people are having work done, and everyone should do whatever makes them feel good. But yeah, if like you're the one person who has decided not to do anything, and everyone else is starting to look like the AI enhanced, like Snapchat filter baby face,
Yeah.
then it starts to feel a little bit like, yeah, who am I the weird one? Like, do I just need to get on board with this?
Right. And it's also just kind of funny because it makes your perception of reality all gets so altered. But yeah, like I wonder if we were to there's probably some interesting psychology too, just about like if people have the same reaction. I mean, we're clearly having a negative reaction. Most people have positive reactions post Botox to how they look, but we're having a negative reaction in terms of how we look on the Substack AI, because it's like, to me, like that doesn't.
Yeah.
The real issue is like it doesn't look like me, and I think that's what makes me feel weird. It's not that it looks better or worse. It just doesn't look like what I think I look like. And I feel like that same kind of sensation happens. I mean, we talked about this with your wedding. Like there's sometimes women will get professional makeup done and it's so well executed, but and it's on one of the biggest days of their lives, their wedding or some, sort of celebratory
Yeah.
occasion, but then it actually makes them not look like them, which can be kind of weird, like where you're like, wow, like because makeup can do that, filters can,
Totally.
digital filters can do that, makeup can do that, Botox, like a lot of things can do that. And so it's just a matter of like what your relationship is, what kind of relationship you have with seeing yourself in a way that looks different than you normally see yourself or you think you look. Anyway.
Yeah, yeah, for my wedding, I had hired a hair and makeup artist, a woman who was supposed to do both, and then at the last minute decided, no, I want my friend Victoria to do my makeup, because if I remembered what I looked like after the makeup trial, and it was just I looked nice, but it was very obvious to me, a person who generally doesn't wear a lot of makeup, that it was just shellacked on, as
Mhm.
even after talking about, okay, I want a really natural look, like this is, I'm sure I sent some example pictures, and I'm not at all an expert on makeup when it comes to like how to apply it myself. So I'm also, it is very obvious that I don't necessarily know what I'm talking about. I could be, so like, you know, the no makeup look often requires so many products to get
Yeah.
someone to look like supposedly natural. So it could have also been an error in just communication and me, and also in one of those trials, which, you know, you're paying for, and had gone up to Carmel, like 5 hours away, to do this thing. And so it's like, and then it's done. And it's like, I guess it's, yeah, sure. Like, what? I don't know how to tell you, how to like tone this down or
Right.
what I want differently. I think maybe I offered a little bit of critique then, like, okay, can we, like, I'm not doing lashes. You know, I don't want this much color on my cheeks, whatever it was. Anyway, finally in the moment, I said, no, I'm not
Not doing
gonna,
it.
yeah, exactly. Please do my hair, but I hope you understand. I just want my friend to do my makeup, and
And you
she
looked
was fine with
amazing.
it. And that, I mean, it's less work for her, but yeah, it's one of those things where I don't know. I think some people are really good at having their you know, this is what I look like when I'm going out to an event,
Mhm.
or like they have that look that's familiar to them, and they know how to do it, or they know how to ask for what they want, and then they have the totally natural, like, okay, this is also me, this is
Yeah.
a different version of me. But I don't know, I've still, you know, not discovered what makeup it is that will look good on me in pictures and look good in real life.
Well, I have like two looks. One is no makeup, and the second is what I think of as like a full face of makeup, where I have like I sit on the ground, like I get comfortable on the ground in front of the mirror, and like I give myself probably like 20 minutes to do, you know, all of the different layers. And when I look at myself, I'm like, oh my God, like you know, have so much makeup on. Like, wow, I, you know, really worked hard to like look ready to go out because I don't, you know, do that often. I don't go out often. But inevitably, when I see myself in pictures, especially next to women who are really good at makeup, I look like I have no makeup on. Like the
Mm.
makeup that I wear, even for me, when I look in the mirror and I think it's really heavy in photographs, looks like nothing. So yeah, it's all of that to say, like, I think of myself as someone who's decently good at makeup, but like my version of makeup, I think my version of makeup maybe translates well to like I probably know how to do makeup for like a work happy hour. Like that's the level of like makeup I'm at. But like a nighttime event or an event that's gonna have a professional photographer, like I like my makeup does not
I
fit it.
No, I say you definitely know how to do makeup for a nighttime event, for an occasion, for like a night in Vegas or whatever, like a big night out. I think you know how to do that. I in a way that where like it's gonna look good. You also know how to do it on people. You've done it for me.
I have done it for
Um,
you, yes.
yeah, where it's going to look good on the person. It's not going to make them look like a completely different person, and it's going to photograph well on like a phone. Now, yeah, like with flash, and if you're doing a whole professional camera setup or it's on video, like that's a totally different thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's I don't know. I think I'm guessing I'm guessing that teenagers and people today who are playing with makeup from like a younger age, and there's just so many tutorials now
Yeah.
online, and you've got, you know, we came up in like the age of like looking at beauty magazines for advice, and often it wasn't anything that was like there's only so much that you can learn from a magazine when it comes to like putting makeup on your own face. And obviously everything's so individual, and there were like not any Indian or very, very few Asian American models back then in these magazines. So yeah, you were like trying to apply products that are being marketed at a completely different skin tone and wondering why they don't work on us. But
yeah, like 17 magazine didn't have great suggestions for a brown girl with frizzy curly hair and, you know, whatever other things that we were battling. But yeah, I think like now teenagers, my niece, like I remember it was her 16th birthday. So she's almost 18 now. It's 2 years ago. And I did her makeup for a party that we had. And like she looks great. Now in the last 2 years, she's so much better at makeup than I am. Like
really,
like she has so many products. She knows how to use them. She just is better at hair and makeup. Like I spent enough time learning, testing, trying, YouTubing, like all of that. So it's, teenagers know a lot more. Like she has setting spray and she's 17.
Wow, and knows how to use it. I'm impressed. Has she done your makeup?
She hasn't, but I think this summer I might find an occasion for her to, because I think I'd be curious to see. I mean, the makeup she does is very like good, subtle. Like I would love to like see what I would look like in it. It doesn't scare me in that way, but yeah, I mean, I think she probably has more products than I do, would be my guess, just based on, you know, what she looks like. I'm like, oh, you clearly have curled your lashes and used, you know, mascara, maybe eyebrow gel, and just more things than I've ever used.
Gosh, I admire. There's also something about like when you're a teenager and you have access to all this stuff for the first time, and you you're so excited to use it and
they figure
out
how to make it.
Yeah.
Like they go to Sephora, where we got our makeup when we were in school at Walgreens, you know?
Yeah. CVS.
Yeah.
Some drugstore.
It was just, I think the only makeup I had was Revlon and CoverGirl. And then maybe occasionally my mom would like splurge and let me buy some like Clinique something or the other, you know, but like that was it.
Yeah.
Times have changed.
Yeah, gosh. I cannot remember when I got my first not real, but like non-drugstore makeup. I'm sure I was in my 20s. It must have been like something from MAC when I was like 25 or something.
NC42.
Yeah.
The MAC compact that every brown girl starts off with. Well, you're a little lighter. You might be like, you're probably a shade or two off, but almost every brown girl intro to real makeup, non-drugstore makeup is MAC's NC42 compact.
There was one across the street from ABC, and I would go there before like events and just try out some lip gloss and whatever, and put that would be my like get ready with me to go to some networking thing routine. Just again, like in my 20s, and not really doing things in the most professional way. Just sort of like, what's the path of least resistance? And that also doesn't really cost much. But I bought my eyeliner from there like religiously until 2 years ago, when I finally said, like, you know what if I just order this e.l.f. one that's half the price?
Yeah.
Am I going to notice a difference? And no, I do not notice a difference. So here we go.
There you go. Yeah. Well, even though neither of us think of ourselves as being like so into or like wearing extensive makeup, I do feel like whenever we're together, one of our favorite things to do is the getting ready stage, pre going out. It's so much fun. Like we will always, even if we're staying in a hotel in different rooms, you usually will come to my room with your makeup bag and your hair tools, and we'll always get ready in the same room, which is so fun. That's like it's more fun than whatever we're about to go do.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's like the hour before going out when you're getting ready and just having it like maybe there's a drink over here and you've got like music playing off your phone or on a dinky Bluetooth speaker. And it's so much more fun to do that with a girlfriend than
Yeah.
doing it's fine on your own if you can like kind of get into it and make it like a sort of experience as opposed to just like okay, I'm rushing and trying to, get ready as fast as I can.
Yeah.
But no, there's nothing better. I mean, that's like the perfect. It's such a good way to start the night.
It really
Such a
is. Like have
high
like a
energy.
bottle of champagne sent to the room and then get ready. Okay, we are overdue for a girls trip because it's been a really long time since we've done that.
I was thinking that. I was going back through my journal and I think the first or second page was from when we were at the Pendry in Chicago.
Yeah, that was last September.
Yeah, that was September. So yes, no, we will this summer get it on the calendar because that was a good girl trip.
Yeah.
What have you been up to this week?
What have I been up to? Okay, so the big thing of this week was speaking of my niece, who's now really good at makeup. The reason why I was able to notice it specifically was because she graduated, and so we went to her graduation last weekend, and that's where she had her full face of makeup done, which is crazy. Like, wow. There's something about like the next generation reaching, these like milestones that we remember, like, because a lot of our youth is not so clear, but like I very distinctly remember my high school graduation and of course college, right? Which is when we met. So it's insane to think that she is now old enough to be at that stage and is going to start her next chapter of college soon. So it was cool. There's so many things about high school graduations that are different than I remembered.
I was going to ask, what are they like? I have to admit, I don't really remember mine. Like I remember where on the lawn it was held, but not really. It was a pretty like basic ceremony.
Yeah, I mean, I had not been to a high school graduation since my own, I think. So, it had been 25 years since I attended a high school graduation ceremony. But yeah, so we're in Houston, so it's insanely hot. So to accommodate for the heat, her ceremony, I think it started at 7 or 8 p.m.
Oh, okay.
So it happens in the evening, which was, we just had to sweat it out. We were like in the middle of the day, but the ceremony was indoors. Hers was outdoors. So we started in the evening.
Got it.
And then it was funny because like clearly millennials are now the parents because the music they were playing like the entire time, like while everyone's seating, while we're waiting for like things to get started, was just like 90s, early 2000s, just like all of the music that we grew up listening to was like it was just like what was being blasted.
I love it.
Yeah, it was fun. And then the other thing that was really interesting is that they none of the speeches by any of the students were live. They were all pre-recorded.
Oh, so like what?
Yeah, it's like the valedictorian, salutatorian, I think the class president, any of the students who spoke, like they were on stage and they would stand up, but then it was a pre-recorded video of their speech behind them that was like on the Jumbotron that played.
Okay, what?
Yeah. So I was like asking, like if anyone knew why. Is this like a recent switch? And there was like to go, to like help battle nerves. I think personally it's because like their schools are so paranoid that students will go off script because usually they want to like vet these things. But there have been, there's been press recently about students going off script and speaking about things that the student clearly is passionate about, but like school officials, whether it's in colleges or elsewhere, like, don't want to be spoken on the stage.
Like so making a political statement or
so I have a feeling it's more about that. But it was weird because it was very weird to like just watch the videos. But yeah, that was the biggest, I think the biggest difference was that the speeches were all pre-recorded.
Okay, that's really I don't love that. I think I totally understand. Yeah, the nerves, like that is an incredibly nerve-wracking experience for anyone. I mean, yeah, unless you really love public speaking, like getting in front of all of your peers, but especially at that age,
Yeah.
yeah, just these are people who have known you through some of your most awkward times. There's yeah, lots of feelings. You're a teenager, like emotions are running high, and
Right.
your parents are there. Everyone's parents or loved ones, guardians, they're all in the audience. Like the stakes are just
Exactly.
very
Stakes are
high.
high. Yeah.
But that's also something that I don't know. It's if you're the valedictorian or salutatorian or like class president, that's something that you have to be able to handle, or something that you
Comes with
should.
the territory. You were so
Yeah,
smart and got such good grades. Now you got to talk in front of 1,000 people.
exactly. It's a challenge. It's a learning experience. Like you'll figure out how to do it. Because yeah, having a video, and there's also something like when it's happening live in front of you, like yeah, the possibility that someone could go off script and say something that's not in their notes, or start laughing or have a reaction, or like accidentally swear or whatever it is. Of course that's a possibility, but I feel like if you I don't know, I would hope that a school would like trust these lauded students enough to be able to say, hey, can you we want to review a draft of what you're saying. That I would understand, but to
Yeah.
have to record the whole thing in advance and then just stand there next to a video of
A
yourself
video of
speaking,
yourself. Yeah.
really awkward.
Yeah. It definitely takes away from like the crowd reactions and the engagement. Um, it was, yeah, the speeches were good. I also am like constantly impressed by how just grown up young people feel nowadays, because I feel like I was such a mess when I was that age, and then I'm like looking at these kids and the way the way their speeches, like who they're thinking and all of that kind of stuff, and just in general, kids feel so much more grown up in some ways. But yeah, it was good. It was fun. We did pictures. That's really it. We didn't, because it started at 8 p.m. So we didn't go to dinner or anything afterwards. They did like the high school. Do y'all do the high school overnight? Like we called it project graduation, but you like spend the night at the high school. Do y'all have
Yeah,
that?
no,
Okay.
we did not have that. I think I do not know what I did after my high school graduation. I'm sure I did. It was during the day. I'm sure maybe I went to lunch, or I truly like don't even remember what time of day it happened. I'm sure my mom remembers, but yeah, we didn't do one of those like yeah high school overnights. That always sounded like very very exotic to me.
Yeah, I asked. I wasn't sure if it was just like a Texas thing or what, but yeah, we had one in for my school, and she had one too. So she did that, and then we came home, and that was it. But it was very, very sweet to see her graduate. I mean, it's kind of one of these graduation ceremonies are these funny things, because it's like it feels like this peak moment. It's kind of like a wedding, but then like you're all like, it's like, oh my God, I can't believe this is over. But then you're all going to still see each other the next day. Like you're still seeing your friends. You're obviously not going to
Right.
go into the high school for the same reasons anymore. But yeah, I just remember, yeah, like feeling like this chapter was closing when I graduated high school. And it's like, you're going to miss like all of your friends and, all your
Yeah.
school and all of these things. So it was cute to see, very nostalgic to see her going through that. So yeah, that was the big event in my life last week. How have you been? What's been going on?
I've been well. This week has been relatively low key. What have I'm trying to think of anything notable that I've done, and I'm this is not anything that I've done. It's just a general feeling that I am at war with protein. Like
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just in the sense that like it is so difficult to figure out how to protein max if you do not want to eat like chicken breasts and steak and like fish for every meal of the day, or even stuff like eggs, which I eat everything. I'm lucky to not have any allergies to anything, and I go through these phases where I'm very happy to like meal prep a bunch of chicken that I can put in a salad throughout the week. But there are times where I'm just like, gosh, I just want to have like some fruit and some vegetables. And somehow I feel bad about this because I know that there's not like a ton of protein content in it. And maybe it's the age that we are or the age that we're living in where like the importance of eating protein is constantly pushed in our faces. So I feel like
Yeah.
I'm being somehow a bad member of society by flouting that. But I'm like, and believe me, like when I actually do eat like, and like my diet's like fine. I'm sure it's like regular. I'm not like
Right.
consuming twice my weight
Yeah.
in protein grams or whatever you were supposed to do, but like I'm getting enough somehow. It's yeah, I'm like frustrated with it. I'm fed up with the need to have to figure out how to incorporate it in every meal.
Yeah, it is hard. I definitely don't do it. I've gone through kicks where I've been more conscientious or aware. The first thing I always tell myself that gives me like an out, and so this is a convenience, but I remind myself that ancestrally for both of us, because I know you eat everything, but like your mom and did not, but like ancestrally, our lineage has never eaten protein in the amounts close to the amounts that like we're attempting to eat today. Like our
True.
genetic composition is like used to just like lentils and then good sources of protein, but not nearly getting 140 or 100 and whatever grams that people are trying to eat these days. Like you're not
Right.
getting that from lentils and yogurt, which is
Right.
like I feel like the primary sources of protein in South Indian diets. So I always tell myself that. But the other thing that when I was like conscientious of it and like really trying to make sure I reached whatever the goal was, I don't even remember. But overnight oats made with protein powder was a really easy
Okay.
way to like load up on protein just in like the morning. There's some really good like the protein powder we were having was like a chocolate protein powder, and yeah, make overnight oats with it. It literally tastes like dessert for breakfast. It's so good, and it's like 30 something grams of protein right there.
Maybe I should do that with I've never made overnight oats, but I've made chia pudding
Mm.
often. So
Hmm.
if I just mixed protein powder into
Hmm.
like almond milk or
I think
regular milk, whatever, and put in some chia seeds. I had half a thing of kefir,
mm-hmm.
which on the side of the bottle it says is known as the champagne of dairy, which is something that I've literally
Wow.
I
Okay.
know.
Kefir's branding team.
It's the Good Life Kefir's branding team. Yeah,
Okay. We
they're on
see
top of
you.
it. Actually, I think it should be they should really go bigger with that. Like what was Miller High Life, the champagne of beers? Um,
Oh, I didn't know that either. Gosh.
yeah, that was a marketing campaign they had in I think the early 2000s. But I had a T-shirt that said Miller High Life because of that, or it said the champagne of beers or something like that. That's how much that ad got to me. But yes, I think kefir is the champagne of dairy.
I love that.
Jim, yeah, because it's also got all the probiotics and it's got
Yeah.
that it somehow doesn't have fiber. I feel like some of these drinks and like fermented beverages sometimes do. Anyway, who knows? There was some protein in that. Um, I and what you're saying is all correct. Yeah, I don't think that most people, unless you are a bodybuilder, unless you're someone who is on some kind of regimen that like you really need to eat that much protein for reasons that are critical to your health or survival. You don't need to. I feel like it's just not that serious.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we all need to eat protein, and we need to eat like we need to be conscientious of it, and probably eat more than we would normally eat otherwise if we weren't conscientious of it. But again, you're to your point, like it's not that serious. Like if you have specific physical muscle building goals, then like being hyper aware of like tracking it and making sure that you're getting to that amount to like really build muscle is it's just like a different goal than if you're eating it to be healthy and like it just depends on what you're trying to do. So
yeah,
I hereby excuse you for not reaching your insane protein goal. You're good. Release the frustration, whatever you've felt this week. You will be okay. Your ancestors, in fact, your grandmother, great grandmothers are probably so proud of you for choosing to eat kefir instead of other sources of protein.
Instead of the 2-week-old turkey that deli meat that's in the refrigerator that I'm now like, oh, that's been open for a while. I don't know if I want that anymore.
Deli meat? I thought we stopped eating deli meat. Is that still a thing?
Oh, did we? No, I love deli meat. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like a sub sandwich. Not I do love Subway too. In certain when the time is right, like sometimes there's nothing better. But yeah, I totally eat deli meat. I think it's best if you actually go to the butcher counter of a grocery store and get it like sliced,
like freshly sliced. Yeah.
Exactly, freshly sliced there, and to the width that you want, and however much you want. That's actually now that I'm thinking about it, sounds kind of good if I were to do it that way. So the war on protein could end soon. There's
so many wars. That is probably not the main war that I want to end, but I'm glad you're on this journey. And yeah, maybe go romanticize the journey to the butcher counter and like I feel like this makes it more exciting.
Romanticizing the grocery store run. Yeah, that's what I need to do. Maybe we do it with the farmers market. I guess I could do it by going to like a regular like Ralph's over here or Gelson's or whatever. Just go with the tote and be like, all right, I'm gonna do it like suburban mom core. Get all the the lunch meat I need for the week. And
we need to make consuming protein like our girls getting ready hour. Like you need to like hype it up, make it just like a whole experience.
That's right. Yeah, make it an experience that you want to take part in. The other thing,
eat protein with me and just take video of yourself eating protein.
That's actually a really good. I feel like that's a sponsorable segment. Eat protein with me.
EPWM.
I like that idea a lot, actually. Yeah. Oh, I got Baby Bells. The Baby Bells have Baby Bell lights actually. Which also feels like light cheese is such a millennial like.
My dogs
Snackwell's
my dogs love Baby Bell. That is
really?
Yes, they love Baby Bell. That's how if we have to give them medicine, we stuff it inside some Baby Bell.
That's hilarious. I love that I have this in common with your dogs.
Yeah, so if you visit, we will generally have Baby Bell in the fridge. So you're all set.
Excellent. The other thing I've been doing is getting ready to go to Croatia for the Adriatic Writers Conference. Is it retreat or conference? I should know this. AWC. Adriatic Writers Conference.
When is it?
So it starts Sunday, and I am one of the instructors along with several other best-selling authors, and it's going to be really. I think it'll be cool. I've never participated in anything like this, And
Yeah.
I'm really eager to. I've met several of the authors, but I don't know any of the people who have signed up for it. And it's going to be cool. We're all going to write together and learn from each other, talk
Yeah.
shop, vent,
That's so fun.
commiserate, all the things. Yeah.
Okay, wait. So with it's with writers, and you are actually like, do you take them through like workshops or classes, or like what is it that you do there?
Yeah, so every day there are multiple workshops. I am teaching one on how to frame a premise and a pitch for a novel. So
Mm.
I spent a lot of time today on Google Slides building a presentation that it's, it's a 1 hour workshop. Maybe I'm putting, I hope I'm putting the appropriate amount of effort in. Um, I don't, and it's people who are. It's not like a college seminar or something. It can
Yeah,
be like fun and interactive, and I have a fun exercise in there that I hope that people will be up to do, partner
I'm sure they
activities and
will.
stuff like that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
because I feel like it's such a self-selecting type of group that's going to go to something like this, because it involves travel, obviously involves writing. So everyone's like, that you have that in common if you're there, which, naturally lends to people getting along and being interested in like each other. And yeah, I think it's going to be great.
I think it's going to be great. And as I'm preparing for this, I am thinking about what I need to pack. Once again, I'm doing it with just a carry-on. It's 1 week, and I'm connecting through Frankfurt, which is a huge airport, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Anytime if I can avoid checking a bag at this point, especially if there's a connection involved, I'm like, yeah, let me avoid checking the bag, because I just do not want to deal with not being able to not having my stuff or not making a flight, because
Yeah, that's
yeah, the
very fair.
yeah, exactly. So
And you're going to be like, you don't need, I feel like you're going to be in a workshop most of the day, and then like going out to dinners, I'm assuming, at night. Is that kind of what it is?
yeah, so there's a little bit of sightseeing during the day as well,
Oh,
and
cool.
everything is taking place on this island off the coast of Croatia. So it's very
So cool.
I'm trying to think through in my head it's not, there is beach, but it's also professional. So it's sort of like, what's the wardrobe? It's almost what, like business, not business,
Beachy business.
beachy business. Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk
Yeah,
about
no,
our,
but like,
dress
I
code.
feel, yeah, beachy. Remember how, like, I've definitely been invited to some weddings where I've seen the dress code and I'm like, this is not a real thing.
Right, right. Yeah. Like,
But I
yeah.
feel like sort of
Safari
like,
formal.
yeah, exactly. Um, but I feel like sort of like light but professional. I don't know. There's something I have a vibe in my mind. But what are you? Okay, so let's talk about it. What are you gonna pack?
Well, so this got me thinking about like the three things that I know I am going to take with me, that I take with me pretty much anywhere I'm going. And it's, especially if it's to a warm-ish weather destination, the first thing would be a beach cover up that doubles as a dress or something that like can be thrown over a t-shirt and jeans, and just sort like a kimono that can elevate an outfit
Mm-hmm.
from being just a t-shirt and jeans to, okay, you could wear this out for a dinner, you could wear this for a cocktail hour. It's something that would work in a resort destination, even if you're not like about to go into the water. I just think that, especially if you're taking a carry-on, like everything in there's got to pretty much do either double duty or, yeah, just be able to go from day to night. do more than just the one thing. And
Yeah.
yeah, I think a silk or silk like material that is forgiving, that has a tie, or that is just like a drawstring super loose so that you can just, yeah, okay, I can pop this on and I will feel somewhat put together.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. I'm trying to think if I have one or two things that I would kind of put into that category where they're they're I use them as cover-ups, but I don't think they're actually like intended to be cover-ups. I think like I have a pair of flowy pants that I really like that I can use as a cover-up, but also look really nice for a meal out. But the double duty is so clutch because it's also just like it becomes too many outfits. Like if you were trying to, plan on wearing, okay, I need to have like my outfit for during the day for the beach, and then maybe, a cover up situation or casual, and then a dinner suit. And then you're just like, wait, this is 3 outfits a day. It's just too much. So yeah, I love that. A beach cover up that doubles as like a dress or something else. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Just it also just makes I don't yeah, it makes things a little bit more simple. I know there are some people who swear by putting on all the outfits that you were going to wear and then taking photos of them and having those photos. Basically, now you have them in your camera roll so you can go like, okay, this is what I'm going to wear on Monday during the day, this is what I'm going to wear Monday night, and then Tuesday morning I'm going to do this. And Tuesday I have, if I were to do that, I would actively find reasons to not go with that plan. Like somehow I would rebel against.
Yeah,
I
you're
would
too much
just
of a contrarian against yourself. Yeah.
So it would be, for me, that would be a complete waste of time. What is better to
Yeah.
do is just put
I
things in there that have options.
that give you options. I
Yeah.
definitely I don't take the photos, but when I pack, I do plan out pretty much what I'm going to wear each like all my different outfits. So, and then I'll usually pack in cubes based on it. So I'll have like, and then I'll think about, okay, this pair of pants like I'll wear on Monday and I'll also wear on Thursday, and I will literally try on every single outfit to make sure that like it works, I like it, and then pack it and like be so intentional about it to where maybe I'll pack like one extra thing, but most of the time when I travel, I wear everything in my suitcase. I don't actually have stuff that I like bring that I don't end up using.
I know. I find that I like doing that. If I don't do that, I feel like I've somehow
At least
it's like I want to be able to cross off everything to justify to myself that it was necessary to pack that.
it's I guess such a sense of satisfaction from it. Like it
It's true.
in some ways that like motivates me to go to the gym. Like I'll usually bring like if I'm going on a 3-day trip or 4-day trip, I'll bring like for half the day. So 2 workout, outfits. And then if I don't work out on day 1, I'm like, oh my God, if I like have to work out today, otherwise I'm gonna have this like clean workout outfit that I take back with me, which is totally unacceptable. So okay, so number 1 was the cover up that doubles. What's number 2?
Number 2 is a sketch pad, which I've been doing for the past year or so. A sketch pad, it's actually a watercolor sketch pad and colored pencils that you can add water to. And I have to say, I pack it. It doesn't take up much room. It's like yay big. And it's aspirational. The idea is that, if there's even whatever, like 10, 15, 20 minutes, don't be on where I don't want to be on my phone. I want to just appreciate the surroundings. I don't know, have an activity that makes my brain move into a different territory, and it's easy and a nice way to sketch things that will help you remember the place where you are. I just like having that with me and readily available. Didn't use it on my last trip during India. I don't know. I sort of like, when I did find time to slow down there, what I wanted to do was not necessarily that. But But that being said, I think it's still, that is something that I put in my bag and say, like, all right, now at least you are prepared
You are
if
ready.
yes, exactly. And it's also, it's like, these are just for me. I'm not like,
Yeah.
there's no pressure or whatever. It's like, here you have an activity that does not involve a screen or an internet connection, and it is yours for the taking should you decide to do it.
I think that's great. I mean, if the inspiration strikes, I feel like most people have something like this. Like for a lot of people, it's books. Like there are
Yes,
so many people who insist on bringing like multiple books or at least a book on
of
any
course.
vacation, no matter what. Like no matter how bulky, how heavy. Like I must pack a book. Like how could I get onto a flight without a book? And then like they go the whole trip without reading it. But it's the emotional support item.
The emotional, yeah, emotional support
So
slash like
creative support. What are we gonna? We need to have a new name for it.
creative support, like honestly, tool to not be. I do this all the time, and I see people doing it all the time, and it when I'm doing it, it makes me feel like the I start scolding myself, but where I'm just in a beautiful place on my phone doing the same shit that I do at home.
Right.
Like, what are you doing? I get it. There's like necessary stuff to check into, like email or whatever it is, messages, texts. But like, come on, let's not. I don't want to default to the same behaviors that I have when I'm sitting in my living room and I'm like killing time. No.
Totally.
And it
Not doing that.
like keep me off social media
Exactly.
yeah, like
Unless
I'm
you're
actually going
posting
to
of
do
your vacation. 'Cause
exactly.
we need to see the photos. Okay, what's number 3?
Okay, number 3 is this and I'll link to it in the show notes. This toiletry kit by Cadence, which is these little jars that are plastic and lockable and stackable, and you can put all of your beauty products, skincare
Mm-hmm.
really, moisturizer, cleanser, toner. Separate issue, like, does toner do anything? I'm not really sure. I'm kind of like, I've been using it, but I really don't, I don't know what's going on there. But sunscreen, all these things in a nice little like closable pouch, and it stays ready now. So I can just, sometimes I have to refill them, obviously. I'm definitely going to check before this trip. But yeah, I just get to like pop that in, and then I don't have to worry about taking like my regular size toiletries, which like I use like 3 products, but I can imagine if you have like a lengthy skincare routine, like, and you're not checking a bag, that could
It's a
get
challenge.
messy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I travel not nearly as much as you, but I travel often, and one of the main things I do that makes it so much easier is for both toiletries and electronics. I have a separate travel set. So I
Smart.
have yeah, my travel. I always intentionally buy and keep like stocked extras in my house, like travel size toothpaste, travel size moisturizer, travel size face wash, everything, and then it's like in the bag ready to go. So I'm never really like packing that bag. It's like pretty much ready for the taking, and the same is true for my electronics, my Apple Watch charger, I have duplicates of everything. And that is a lifesaver. So yeah, having a good toiletry kit is, especially if you're doing a carry-on, it's important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what else are you taking? What are your 3?
One of my 3. I just shared the travel dupes of everything trick, but that's not what I was going to say. So for my 3, the first is headphones. So even though I am really intentional about only bringing things that I am confident that I'll use, and I want to use everything I take, like there's some things that I take like more than the minimum of. And the first would be headphones, because I am a big believer in corded headphones. I used to call them my punishment headphones because I bought them after losing 2 pairs of AirPods on planes.
Okay.
And I was like, that's it. Like, I cannot be trusted with AirPods on flights because they're falling out of my ear. And then, like, I don't realize it and I forget. And I don't
It
find them,
happens to
or
so many people. I mean,
yeah,
yeah, this is, yeah,
happens all of the time. And I just think
known issue.
yeah, so I'm like, it's so much easier with the cord because then, like, if I fall asleep while I'm watching this movie or watching whatever, like, I'm not worried about losing it. So that would be, I take that, but I also still take my AirPods, like my regular AirPods, for if I'm, just to use when I'm on the trip. So the
Sure.
corded ones are mostly just happening on the flight. So the two sets of headphones. The other thing I take, usually two, sometimes three of, are sunglasses. I, especially on like a vacation, this is like, I was going to say me being a little like narcissistic, but kind of like, but on a vacation that's going to be longer where I know I'm going to take a lot of photographs, like I'm going to a new to me place, I'm going to be doing a lot of sightseeing. Like, I find multiple pairs of sunglasses to be just so valuable from like a fit perspective because, well, first, oftentimes like on vacation, especially if you're going on like a beach vacation, you're not going to wear makeup and stuff. So having
Sure.
sunglasses obviously is like not only going to protect your eyes, but it also kind of covers up the fact that you might be exhausted or tired or whatever else. But I also just like think that I think I started this because I've been on trips where I'm like, I look the same in every photo. And it's because I'm wearing sunglasses. And
Oh,
especially
never
if I'm
thought about that.
traveling alone, I'm like taking selfies or whatever, and I'm like, okay, I literally look the same in every single picture. Then it's because I'm wearing the same pair of sunglasses in every photo. So yeah, I generally just go on Amazon and will look up dupes of sunglasses that I really like. And it's just like an easy way to have like options and to kind of tailor them to the fit. So I would say sunglasses, multiple pairs of sunglasses is a second. And then the third, which I didn't use today, but maybe I should have, is this wax stick by Bedhead. Do you know what a wax stick is?
Yeah, for your hair.
For my hair, yeah. And I don't remember how. I probably found it from like social media, like from an influencer. I'm not sure, but because like my hair is frizzy and generally like to wear it down, I only recently started figuring out ways to leave it curly and down. But so often, no matter where I'm traveling, like if I don't want to spend the time straightening my hair or like using heat products, or if I'm traveling somewhere where like my heat products are going to explode because of like conversion issues.
I know. I'm thinking about that too. Yeah.
Yeah, then my default is just to like pull my hair back, and the wax stick is like, makes it slick and like so it gives you the slick look. And also if your hair is like a few days unwashed, like it doesn't matter because it's going to be slicked and oiled back anyway. So yeah, I find this wax stick to be like, it works really well, and it's just easy because it's wax, it's not liquid. So I feel like, it's one of those things where I'll sometimes even like throw it in my bag. Like if my hair is slicked back and I'm going to be out of the hotel all day and maybe want to like do a little touch up before I go to dinner later in the day or something, I can just like have that in my purse and it's easy. So that would be the third.
That's a good one. Yeah. I want to get something like that.
You never really pull your hair back. I was just thinking about that. Do you ever
really?
wear your hair fully pulled back?
I do it sort of, I'll do like a low ponytail sometimes definitely if I'm going for a run or sometimes a hike. Yeah, funnily enough, like around the house, it's almost always pulled back because like if I'm on a computer and like leaning forward, bad posture, then yeah, my hair is like hanging in my face.
In the way.
Yeah. Exactly. So just to get it out of my face. But yeah, the worry about ruining your hair tools with a different voltage is a real one. That's
so real. I mean, I always research, and now a lot of hair tools have like dual conversion, and so they'll work, when you travel. But yeah, I've been so scarred with like ruining flat irons and during trips to India that I'm like, nope, just too risky.
Do you know if because we have the same flat iron, is that dual?
Mm-hmm.
It is? Okay.
Mm-hmm. It
Okay.
is dual
All right.
voltage, so I think it should work depending on, yeah. But if you look on the side, it says that it's dual voltage. So
Okay.
I use that in Japan, I think. I can't remember. But yeah, it should work.
A lot of if you're staying at a hotel now too, a lot of hotels will have like one outlet that is a American
Right.
American style outlet, so you can always like if all else fails, plug it into that. But yeah, I'm thinking about what exactly I'm going to do there. But no, that stick is also a good yeah, you're right. I don't usually like wear my hair in like a slick back kind of
Mm-hmm.
way, but hey, maybe if I had a tool,
I was
maybe
gonna
if I had a tool to
say
help me.
makes it pretty easy. Yeah, I find like those kinds of things, they just travel like should be like there's always going to be some level of stress, the airport, like packing, like all of that, but the more that you can manage it and like have little systems for yourself of things that work, that like on the front end are easy, but also when you're on your trip, like make your life easier. Because I think this happens a lot too when I travel, depending on who I travel with. But like if I'm traveling with Juan, he is very chill about, like getting ready and whatever. Like he doesn't mind. But I've definitely been on trips where I'm like, okay, I don't want to spend 2 hours like washing, drying, straightening my hair, and then like doing that's gonna like, we don't have
No
time built
way.
in for the day of that, or it's just not worth it. Or I'm with people who like don't want to like be in the hotel for that long. They have all these like plans. And so
Yeah.
yeah, having like a quick hair option is yeah, really helpful.
No, I do, if I blow drying my hair on vacation, no.
Yeah, sounds
No,
gross.
I'm not doing it. I'm just
No,
not yeah, yeah.
God
I'm blow drying
invented
it
dry
before the trip.
shampoo for a reason.
Yeah, or I'm blow drying it before the trip and hoping it lasts through the whole thing, or it's going to be curly, and
Hmm.
that's going to be the end of it. But
Yeah. That'll be so fun. So you leave Sunday, or you leave this weekend?
I leave Saturday. I leave Saturday. Yeah, yeah.
Amazing. Oh my gosh. Well, keep us posted on how things are
I
going.
will. I know. Hopefully, we can figure out we'll try to negotiate the time difference and see what we can make work. But yeah, I will keep you posted.
Yeah, have so much fun. I know it's gonna be a blast, and I'm so jealous of all of the writers that are gonna go and learn from you. Like, also, just so it's so cool that you're at this stage. Like, you were an instructor, like you were going abroad to instruct on writing. Like, how cool is that? That's incredible.
It is kind of surreal, and yeah, I listen. I hope I do a good job.
You're gonna do a great
Again,
job.
I've never done something like this before, so as long as I don't get called a fraud, then it'll be good. It'll be
Uh,
good.
It'd be
Yeah.
amazing. We'll have so much fun. Can't wait to hear how it all goes.
Amazing. Well, have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, talk soon. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Love you.